Hello and welcome to the Federal. Manipur has been
Hello.
burning for over 1.5 years now without any solution in sight. The center and the state government seem to be totally clueless about how to douse the fire. To discuss the issue, we have with us today former Deputy Chief Minister of Manipur, Yumnam Joykumar Singh. Mr. Singh also served the state as its Director General of Police. Therefore, he is in a better position to suggest holistic approach needed to deal with this crisis, taking into consideration both the political and the security aspects. So, Mr. Singh, a very good evening and a warm welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good evening to you.
Good evening. So last month, your party, NPP, that is the National People Party, withdrew its support from the Biren Singh-led BJP government. So what prompted the decision, and will it make any difference to the government or to the ongoing conflict in the long run? Because I'm saying this because the support of your seven MLAs will not make much difference to the BJP government, which has an overwhelming majority.
Right. Okay, first, regarding about the reason for withdrawing our support from the BJP, from the Biren Singh-led government, we have been watching the development that has taken place in the state. And from time to time, we have also made suggestions about solving how to solve the problems. In fact, right after the 3rd May incident, in the last week of May, we have submitted a memorandum to the Honorable Home Minister of India, Mr. Amit Shahji, where we have suggested five uh, five action plan. Anyway, that has not been acted upon. I'll come to that later on. But anyway, what is happening is that we were hoping that things will improve. See, as far as force is concerned, adequate force has been provided by the center, and that maybe to my thinking, maybe one does not need that many force to sort out or to handle the situation in the state. That has not been handled properly. The forces that have been provided, that have come to the state, also seems to be just watching the development, the events that is taking place. No actions have been taken. And in fact, to my mind, the government has not been able or has no plan about how to use the forces provided to it in order to bring normalcy in the state. After seeing all these things and the amount of time it has taken, we feel that unless and until the state government is second to the extent possible, well, nothing is going to happen. And that is one thing. And plus, the image of the BJP government and the BJP party itself in the state after the May 3rd incident has been going down very badly. And since we are also a party, we have been supporting it in the sense that without actually participating in the government, we have been giving the support. The people also are finding that we are also culpable for the situation that is prevailing in the state and for the inability to sort out the problem. No, taking into all those consideration and the incident of the 3 women and 3 children uh, ta- who were taken away by the Kuki militants and who were later on killed. That also really enraged the whole state. And after those incidents, we decided that now the time we have to withdraw. At least the government feel that we are withdrawing, and that make them at least will try to see whether it can this action enables whether it enables the government to act or to take the things more seriously or to make plan about how to bring peace in the state. That's the thing. Now, as regards about whether this will make any effect on the Biren Singh government, the BJP itself got about I think 33 or 34 out of 60 seats. So whether we withdraw or not, the government will not make any difference to the government. The government will have problem only if the BJP, within the BJP, if the MLAs decide to withdraw support from Biren Singh. That's the thing. Otherwise, our these things will not make any difference.
So why do you think that the center is still backing Biren Singh and even the party is supporting him? What is the
That
reason
is
behind it?
something. That is something I can't say because I'm not their think tank. I'm not in their this. I've not this. They must be having their own reason, but it is for everyone to see that things are not working well in the state.
You yourself said that BJP's image, in fact, is going down because of this crisis. So it's surprising, isn't it, that the party is still continuing with him?
Well, it is surprising. I don't know these things. You talk to anyone in the state, or say even the journalists who have been visiting, who have gone around the state. If you ask any of them, also they must have got their feedback from the people, and the feedback will also indicate that the image of the BJP has really gone down from 33. I don't know in the next assembly election where it will end.
Okay. So, if you have to identify one big mistake, the center and the state government each committed in dealing with the present problem, so what will they be?
See,
Each
one thing.
one center, one state government, biggest mistake.
No, I'll have to explain a little bit. I mean, I can't just make it in one sentence. I'll just
Okay.
explain to you how things started. Things started in this thing. Basically, it was an order from the High Court regarding about demand of ST status by the ST demand committee among the Meiteis. In that High Court order, High Court has given the judgment saying that the recommendation of whatever it is on the ST status demand should be decided by the state government and should be sent to the center. And that was taken and by the cookies by the ST. It was not only the cookies, the Nagas also. It was taken to be actually, it is an order and making the Meiteis also ST. I mean, which is absolutely really absurd. No court can give that sort of decision. It is only the Lok Sabha the center which can decide about it. Now, it was the reaction. Lots of these things, rally and all these protests have taken place, and it was one such rally at Trasanpo in the Cookie area, which had gone out of control, which had attacked the Meitei villages there, and that there were lots of rumors going on and all these things that Meitei women have been raped, Meitei elders have been killed, etc., etc. Some of them was true, some of them were just only rumors. That again, you know, spread like a wildfire in the valley. And the valley people, at that time there is one organization called as Arambai Tengol, and the Arambai Tengol also responded to it. And that way situation went out of control. Now, something which should have been treated as a law and order situation and the appropriate action should have been taken by the state government, it failed to do it. That has made it, generated it up, has taken this law and order situation to a situation where we can a communal conflict between the Meiteis and the Cookies. And again, all throughout this problem, this conflict has been treated as a communal clash between the Meiteis and the Cookies, have never been dealt with as a law and order the problem. This is one of the biggest mistakes which the state government has made. On the other hand, from the center, I think the center's problem is that its inability to decide whether action should be taken against the Sioux group of the Cookies, which have violated the ground rules. In fact, I am a signatory to the Sioux agreement between the Cookies, government of Manipur, and the government of the central government. I was the DGP of the state during that period, and I'm a signatory, as I said, in that. And one of the conditions that we have put there in that agreement is that the territorial integrity of Manipur is non-negotiable. That's one. Another thing is that we met a number of ground rules. This is nothing, and all these things. Any violation of the ground rules will not be tolerated. Then action will be taken against the Sioux group. Now, until times the ground rules have been violated by the Kuki group, openly carrying out this looting and the carrying arms in the open, which was not to be there. And now, net result is that the Kuki, because of the inaction on the part of the state government as well as on the part of the central government, because it is tripartite agreement, then the violation should have been dealt with properly. Now, not dealing with it is also one of the biggest problem. Then, when from Myanmar, the CDF and the PDF people started infiltrating into Manipur and started taking the side of the cookies. That's the time where center should have said nothing doing, should have said, should have been warned, and should have taken action to, drive away the CDF and the PDF people. Non-doing of it has really complicated. There had another angle has been the geopolitics angle also kept into, and this conflict has also been, has been what do you say, that there has been because of geopolitical conflict. I mean, lots of other backgrounds also there because of which it's not. But I think, central government, they must be knowing, because all the agencies are there, and if extend warning or stern action against the PDF, CDF, this will also probably bring about a solution to the problem of Manipur.
So there are some conspiracy theory which say that even this conflict is also about control of narco-trade. So how much do you believe in this kind of theory, or is that narco-trade playing some role in this conflict?
Well, you see that this Manipur Golden Triangle, then through Myanmar and Manipur through, this has been drug routes for quite some time. I mean, for much more, it's not a recent sort of thing. And of course, people are talking about the narco-terrorism, blah blah. Well, maybe part of it is there, but it's not. It's not a case of where the profit of the narco trade is financing the cookies. It's not that way. I don't think. I mean, to my understanding, to my knowledge, to my whatever information I've got, that's not the correct thing. Yes, the trade is there. Some people are benefiting out of it. That is there. But a product of the narco terrorism, I don't think one can call that.
Okay. So, as a senior police officer, you must have witnessed many inter-community conflicts in the state, such as Naga-Kuki clashes in the 90s, Kuki-Paite conflict. So, do you see any fundamental difference in the nature of discord this time?
You see, yes, it is, because when the Kuki Naga thing took place, I was the DIG range, and at that time, DIG range jurisdiction was the entire state. I mean, and I've seen closely, and I was the one who was doing the running around and trying to control the situation. Now, Kuki Paite, by that time I had gone on deputation to the BSF. I was there in the BSF for 8 years. After that, I came back in the early 22 in the 2002, and thereafter I continued in the district. Now, the difference is there. At that time, state police is considered to be a police force of the Manipur government. Now, the difference, and because of that, when the Meiteis, Kukis and Nagas clash took place, the police could act effectively against both the Nagas as well as Kuki. When the Paite and the Kuki also clash took place, that time also the same thing was there. And there have been a clash between the Muslims and the Meiteis. We call the Muslims in Manipur as Pangal Meitei conflict. That time also, police, by the time earlier police force was almost non-existent, but after my taking over the DGP, completely changed the police system, etc. Anyway, so then time there was not the police, Manipur police was not considered to be a police force of the Kukis or the Nagas or the Meiteis. It was a force for the whole of state, irrespective of whichever community it belongs to. But it was meant to be safeguarding each of the every community. But now the problem has become, you see, no Kuki police personnel are serving in the Meitei areas. No Meitei police personnel are serving in the Kuki areas. So that sort of segregation, that sort of thing has taken place. This has, I think, has made the task of the state government much more difficult. How it has come about, etc., etc. I don't want to go into those details, but then the fact remains that, sir, the problem of Manipur, to my mind, has to be sorted out to a large extent by the state police force. That's how the insurgency problem, which was there before I took over, and I had a long tenure of about almost 6.5 years as DGP. And it was during my time that the insurgency was taken quite successfully, and that we could do it because Manipur police was willing to do it. See, the, I've been in the BSF, as I told you, for 8 years. Every CPMF or the army or thing has a system of tenure system. You go to a place, there's a hard place and a soft place, and in the hard place, your tenure is normally about 2 years. After that, you move out. Now, any unit coming, they want somehow the other tackle the situation, stay there for 2 years, then after that leave. Then after that, they'll go to a peaceful place. Now, for any state force in a particular, trouble zone place, say LWE area or the Kashmir and all this thing. Incidentally, I had served 2 years in Kashmir also, and they have to live there. They cannot go away. So the stake for the state force is much more higher. Understanding that you have to train, you have to build up the state force to tackle all this sort of situation. Unfortunately, the state police force today in Manipur is no longer able to take the kind of state action that they were able to take up in the earlier classes. This is also unfortunate development in the state.
Okay, so you are essentially saying that state police is no longer seen as a neutral force, and so they are not been able to intervene in this crisis.
Yeah. And when the cookies cannot serve in the Meitei areas, Meitei police personnel cannot serve in the cookie areas. Basically, then it will become, a sort of whatever force that is there in the Meitei area, they become communalized pro-Meitei, anti-cookie. Same thing, vice versa. Those serving in the cookie areas are pro-cookie and anti-Meitei. Now, unfortunately, this needs to be broken down, and it has to bring the state police force, as a force neutral and committed for safeguarding lives and the properties of all, whether it be cookies or the Nagas or the Meitei or the Muslims or the Nepalis, whoever they are in the state. That is what is required.
Okay, sir. So finally, what according to you is the possible solution now? You have already suggested 5 solutions, I think, in the memorandum which you submitted to the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah. So can you elaborate on that?
I will tell you that we still see. In fact, it was a memorandum submitted by our party, Mr. Conrad, myself, and the state president. We were signatory. We suggested in the first point was that the government needs to take up confidence building measures. In confidence building measures, say today cookies have no confidence of entering Meitei areas, vice versa, Meiteis in this thing. See, cookies, they are traveling, if they have to travel out of Manipur, they have to go today all the way to Aizawl, from there take the flight. Whereas that takes almost 2 days. Whereas from Churasampur, you come down to Imphal, it's just a matter of about less than 1 hour. They are not able to do that. They are not able to come for medical treatment which they require, and many have died because they could not get the proper medical treatment. That is there. On the other hand, the Meitei civilians cannot travel along the national highways. That again is blocked. Now try to do that. These are with enough forces there. You try to listen, uh, bring them under security guards, etc. If you do that, after some time, cookies will have. I mean, similar. I'm just giving you one example. There will be much more. The cookies will start having confidence of coming to the valley and vice versa, etc. That is one measure. Second, we said let there be let the government be a neutral government. When we say neutral government, it need not necessarily mean president's rule. We mean a government. I mean, like it is not a pro Meitei or pro Cookie or pro. It is a government where everyone, I mean, it is prepared, which is prepared to protect the lives and the property of each and every this community. That
So
is working.
do you think that the present Biren Singh government is not a neutral government?
Setting of peace committee, and in fact, Honorable Home Minister, when he visited Manipur, I think that was sometime in May last week or something like that, he had set up a peace committee headed by the then governor, but then it did not work out. In this sort of communal situation, peace committee plays a big role, but it was not available here. 4 point we said is relief and the rehabilitation of the IDPs. Now relief has been provided, but rehabilitation there's nothing been done. Today also thousands of IDPs are staying in the relief camp. Now, unless and until these people go back to their homes, which is not likely to be now, or they are properly rehabilitated, the situation cannot come to normalcy. We have suggested that instead of their this thing, building of their shelter, prefabricated construction, etc., keep them. There are empty number. I mean, large areas of the government land which can be allotted to these families, and whatever instead of prefabricated construction, give them some money and let them build up their own house. You see, at the end of the day, every family wants to have a house of their own. They are thinking of what will happen to my children, to my grandchildren, etc. And unless and until they feel something belonging to them, it's not going to be their mind will always be the kya hoga, this thing about the children, this thing, that thing. So long as those things are, this is both from the Meitei side, also from the Cookie side. Cookie's number of their buildings, houses have been destroyed. Similarly, Meiteis and all this thing. Now, unless this thing is taken, the situation remains continuously in this sort of situation that we are facing today. And the last point we said is let the national highways remain free for movement of goods as well as civilians, which goods are being brought under escort, but civilians are not able to. Now, these are the things which needs to be. It may take time. It should have been taken up. These actions should have been taken up right immediately after the incident. If that had been taken up by now, I think things could have been normalized. But nothing of these things has been not much of these things have been done. Again, one thing is there. Without a political dialogue, the situation cannot be brought to normalcy. Now, hardly any effort been made in this regard. So these are the suggestions that we have given from our side. In fact, in the memorandum, we did not mention about the political dialogue. But when we say peace committee in the peace committee should be inclusive, should include the political dialogue also. These are the things which needs to be taken up on priority and with full commitment. Only then, I think, that situation can be brought to normalcy.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us and giving the insight. Thank you so much.